Today we are going to learn about famous artist Vincent van Gogh. I am going to read you the book by Mike Venezia with his illustrations and also real pictures from Vincent van Gogh. You may be familiar with Vincent van Gogh's beautiful Starry Night painting, or The Sunflowers. Vincent van Gogh was one of the most tragic artists who ever lived. Nothing ever seemed to go right for him. He wasn't very happy. Van Gogh was born in Holland in 1853 and died in France in 1890. Unlike most artists, Van Gogh didn't decide to become a painter until he was grown up. He tried a lot of other things first. He was an art dealer.
You call that a good painting? My 5-year-old could do better than that.
This isn't making me happy. He was a teacher. Oh, this isn't making me happy, he thought. He was a bookseller. This definitely isn't making me happy. No, I said that one, can't you hear? He was a preacher. I think I'll be an artist. That might make me happy. Van Gogh worked in an art gallery, selling paintings. He tried teaching, he worked in a bookstore, and he was a preacher like his dad. None of these things made him happy. Then one day he decided to be an artist. Van Gogh always tried his best at whatever he did, so he went to different art schools to learn everything he could about drawing and painting. His early drawings were of poor people he used to help when he was a preacher. There are certain things you can see in these drawings that show up later in his famous paintings, such as the strong lines and shapes. You can see the feelings he had for everyday people. Van Gogh's first paintings were also of the poor people he had been helping. In this painting, the family was so poor they only had a few potatoes to eat for dinner. They looked tired and not very happy. The colors in Van Gogh's early paintings are dark and sad. He wanted everyone to know how the hard lives of the poor people were. Van Gogh kept using dark colors until he discovered some very colorful Japanese artwork. He loved the bright colors and strong lines and shapes that he saw. Wow, I wonder what this bright stuff is. It's called yellow, blue, red, and orange. Soon, Van Gogh's paintings started to look much more colorful. Look at the difference between the gloomy potato eaters and the painting above, which was done only a few years later. We know a lot about how Van Gogh felt and why he did certain things, because he was always writing letters to his younger brother, Theo. Theo always helped his brother. He encouraged him to paint and sent him money when he could. "Who's that from, dear?" "It's a letter from Vincent. He says he's sick. Nobody likes him, his room doesn't have heat, his back is killing him, and I should send him money as soon as possible. Sounds like he's doing much better." Because Van Gogh was always sending and receiving letters, he got to know his postman pretty well. He painted pictures of him, and he used the postman's wife as a model in many of his paintings as well. In 1886, Vincent moved to Paris, France to join Theo. Paris was the center of the art world then. Since Theo was in the business of buying and selling paintings, and Vincent wanted to be an artist, it seemed like a pretty good place to be. Theo introduced Vincent to a lot of painters while they lived in Paris. Hardly anyone knew it then, but many of those painters would become world-famous artists someday. "Vincent, I'd like you to meet Toulouse-Lautrec, Émile Bernard, Camille Pissarro, Georges Seurat, Paul Signac, and Paul Gauguin." "Gee, Theo, I was hoping to meet somebody famous." A couple of years later, Vincent van Gogh decided to leave Paris, France, and move to a small country town in France called Arles. Van Gogh thought Arles would be a great place for artists to get together to paint and talk about their different ideas. He tried very hard to get as many artists as he could to join him. The only one to try it out was Paul Gauguin. Although he wasn't really crazy about the idea, it turned out to be a big mistake. Gauguin didn't seem to like anything Van Gogh did in Arles, and they argued a lot. "Your cooking is terrible. Your paintings are terrible. I'm a better artist than you are. I wish I never came. Worst of all, you never pick anything up. This place is a mess. You are such a grouch." Van Gogh probably decided to listen to Gauguin about cleaning the place up because his bedroom looks pretty neat in this painting. Finally, after a bad argument, Gauguin decided to leave Van Gogh and return to Paris. Van Gogh didn't know what to do. He really wanted things to work out well with Gauguin. Van Gogh had always had problems during his life with the way he felt. Sometimes he would get so angry and upset that no one could make him feel better. This time he became so angry and upset, he cut off part of his ear. Van Gogh painted pictures of himself after this happened. It looks like he wished he hadn't done it. Van Gogh never really got better after Gauguin left him. Sometimes he was too angry to paint, and sometimes he was too sad to paint. When he felt good, he painted better than ever. He made the stars in the starry night seem like they were really shining. The trees in this painting look like flames, and it looks like the whole picture is moving. In this painting, Van Gogh made the sun look really hot. You almost feel like you should put sunglasses on to look at it. Van Gogh usually put his paint on very thick. Sometimes he painted so fast he didn't even mix his colors. He used paint right out of the tube. Can you see in this sunflower painting the thick brush strokes that Van Gogh painted? Van Gogh used so much paint, he always was running out. Sometimes he stopped buying food in order to buy more paint, so he was hungry a lot of the time, and he wasn't healthy. "I'd like to order some lemon yellow, pea green, cherry red, and I'll have orange for dessert." Hardly anyone was interested in Van Gogh's work while he was alive. He sold only a few drawings and maybe one or two paintings. People in the 1880s and 1890s just weren't used to the bright moving pictures that Van Gogh made. Today, things are different. People have learned to love how beautiful Vincent van Gogh's art really is. Now, his paintings are some of the most popular in the world. "Ah, Van Gogh, guess what? You finally sold a painting." Maybe I have a future in this after all." This is one of Van Gogh's more sad and angry paintings. Some people think it shows really how angry and upset he must have been feeling, because he painted a scary sky, roads that led to dark background, and crows that look like bats. Van Gogh made his paintings seem alive with color. His colors are so bright and beautiful, you can almost smell the flowers he painted or feel the bright sun. His brush strokes give everything a feeling of movement. Trees, stars, and people feel alive. Maybe more than any other artist, Van Gogh's feelings came out in his paintings. That is why Vincent van Gogh is one of the world's greatest artists. He did not live long enough to know how many people around the world enjoy his artwork, but now his artwork hangs all around in every museum and is worth millions of dollars.